So health-wise, besides the nicks and bruises, we'll be ready for this third game in 6 days. Tomorrow. We're used to it. We've played it a couple times.
Start off with Kevin.
Hey, Dan, can you just tell us a little bit about your travel problems and kind of how you dealt with that?
Yeah, I think that we tried to turn lemons into lemonade and get some of the prep work done. The preparing for Providence, the breakdown of the good and the bad from Marquette, and then the day after game on court prep work we were able to get done courtesy of the fine people at Marriott and the fine people at University of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So great thanks to them. The charter company didn't do as well for us as Marriott and Milwaukee did. University of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We just the night of game flight cancellation. It's understandable, but what transpired the next day was was not good and shouldn't happen to a major sports organization. Using company, it affects late in the year, especially. Really disappointed with their efforts for us. We drove around. We ended up in Chicago. We got in last night after 11 o'clock. We almost a 24-hour. Not good.
And what do you expect as far as Providence? I mean, they're going to be kind of a desperate team, given that what a win over you guys would mean to them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think we were. Big East games are physical. They're the most physical team in the league. I think we were literally dragged into. Obviously, it wasn't a pretty game. It was very physical, very defensive. A lot of foul calls. It was an ugly game that we played the first time. We got to be prepared for physicality, but we also it's also a basketball game. So we got to be prepared, obviously, to execute, but then also be physically prepared for everything that goes into the way that they play, which is super physical.
Thanks.
You got it.
We'll go to Dave.
Hey, Dan, by and large this year, it seems like you guys have done a pretty good job in terms of kind of containing your opponent's sort of top player or top scorer, with a few exceptions, usually in losses. But do you tend to go into a game kind of keying in on one or two particular guys usually? Is that sort of like the what you generally do with each opponent?
I just think a lot of it has to do with the supporting cast and what we think of them. And then what can hurt us the most obviously is if you allow the other team's best players to have it easy and to get easy catches and to not see bodies and to not see early help and to try to send them to the things that they want to do. I think Kamani and Luke do a great job of preparing the scouts and taking away what a lot of teams want to do primarily, and then sometimes we get beat where a guy's too good, or the supporting cast, does us in. But I think we get great preparation from those two guys with that.
And that said, did Carter and Oduro, not to say they're like, a two-headed monster or anything, but are they the kind of guys you go in not wanting to beat you?
Yeah, I mean they're two all conference level players. Obviously, it's a shame that they lost Bryce, and they potentially would have been even playing further at the top of the conference if they had Bryce. But I mean, they got two all conference level players. I mean, a Player of the Year candidate and a first in Devin, and then you got first or second team all conference guy in Oduro. So I think we might have voted for both guys for all conference. They're that good. I think we might.
Awesome. What's that?
I think we might have.
You let Bobby take care of that?
No, we take it seriously, and we try to reward the balance of winning and obviously great production. We lean towards the winning.
Right. Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Go to Joe.
And do you put any stock into these win records, the Big East Conference record and the UConn regular season record? Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we needed that. Great competitors. I think we're a staff and a roster of players filled with great competitors. So I think there's plenty of internal, pride that we all have in winning and performing at a championship level every time we take the court. But yeah, I mean, we know that we've got a chance to potentially, post a historic number, both in terms of Big East regular season wins and in regular season wins. I know we've tied, the remarkable number by Marquette last year, and obviously, UConn past teams, and we have we've tied the regular season record here. So, doing historic things at a place like UConn is it's like impossible. But we're certainly talking about that as part of a package of things that are motivating us right now to finish the regular season. We know what's ahead of us, the most exciting time of the year. But we're going for historic marks in league and at UConn.
And obviously, what's ahead of you. You say championship level a lot. Do you feel like this team is at that level, or do you feel like there's still work to do? Is it something that you have to earn every day, or?
Yeah, I mean, we already, we already, the hardest thing in college basketball is to win the national championship. Maybe the second hardest thing is to get to the Final Four, and then either 2B or 3 in that is winning the regular season. It's way harder to do than to win the conference tournament where you just get hot for 3 days, 4 days, whatever. In the regular, we've proven over 3 months already that we have the championship championship DNA, and then we have obviously several members of our organization are national champs too. So we think that we've played this whole year. Again, season doesn't start once the Big East starts. Season starts in the beginning of November, because all that has a huge impact on the Big East. So we feel like we've played like champions, the entire season, conference, whole regular season.
Thank you.
You got it.
Go to Roger.
Yeah, Dan, in addition to the historic stuff that you can accomplish, are there other things you want to accomplish tomorrow from a basketball sense? I mean, do you just want to, keep certain players going or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, this is, Roger, it's the last environment, that we will face like this. Obviously, they're all different, in terms of the atmosphere and, what the fans are like. So, but everything else from here on out is neutral. It's a chance to post an 18-2. And obviously, beyond that, just be the team that we've been. There's going to be a rebirth and obviously, playing a really good Seton Hall game, going to Marquette, now heading to Providence. I'm just really impressed with the way that, this has been a great season, and just really want to try to finish tomorrow.
Thank you.
Close it out with Gavin. That's the last one.
Hey, Dan, what are your thoughts on Steph's season? Has he exceeded expectations, done what you kind of thought he would? What do you think about how he's played?
Yeah, I mean, Steph is, Steph's been as good a freshman player as anyone in the country. For what he's done for us relative to, the outstanding defense, where in so many matchups he's shot down top level players, or made them incredibly inefficient. He has stepped up and scored big for us when we've needed it. He's stepped into the background and filled different roles on a nightly basis for whatever his team has needed. And I think that more of that should be celebrated. He's really handled himself like an unselfish, much heralded, much hyped 5-star. He handled himself with incredible humility, and that starts at home. And he's been the ultimate winning player for us. Just on a nightly basis, he doesn't make it about himself, and gives us whatever the defense that we're playing against dictates that night.
And just one other quick one on the All Big East teams. Selections are come up on Sunday, and when they're going to be announced. And is it hard to pick in your team, like who gets what, because you're so balanced?
Yeah, I mean, I guess obviously, that if it's being announced on Sunday, the picks are in, so to speak. Again, 17-2 in the league, and the work that we did in the non-conference. Because again, this season didn't start. People brought net rankings in, and they brought in good or bad losses that have either helped or hurt this league. In terms of what we're dealing with right now from a bubble standpoint, and from teams that get in to this much anticipated sporting event that's going to occur. So I don't know how it's all going to play out that way, but you got to feel like the players on the 17-2 team that also dominated non-conference play, players will be rewarded justly.
Thanks.
You got it. And is that Gavin?
Yes.
Yeah, because none of these guys were obviously rewarded with the preseason team.
Right,
Just like
Newton
the
wasn't
team
even,
was close. Yeah. Tristan wasn't voted.
right.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of things that go in. There's some, maybe we could find a better way moving forward. Sometimes, people that vote, there's manipulating it to try to, not vote for the right people, either because of trying to get their guy an award, or by not voting for someone else, or there being, an agenda. I think there's probably a better way, that we could do it in our league. But, again, we were picked closer to fourth than we were to first. I think just a couple votes short of fourth this year. So these players obviously deserve, that they're just, to the victors go the spoils, so to speak.
Great, thanks.
You got it.
Dave, do you have a last one?
Yeah, I just want to sneak one more in since Zagori is not here.
Lazy.
But actually, Dan, just in terms of awards, I know you're talking about your players. Would Coach of the Year mean something really special to you? Is that something you even think about at all?
No. And then, maybe after the fact. But no. I don't. I think you, I don't win a lot of popularity contests. My fans, the places that I coach, as long as they love me and everyone hates me, everyone else in these other fan bases hates me, I know that I'm doing the exact job that UConn wants me to do. That means I'm winning, and we're winning in impressive fashion. And there's a lot of hate.